Well, welcome, Patricia Cooney, and ladies and gentlemen, she's a Facebook friend from way back. I reviewed, can't talk today. I reviewed her first album. I think it was back in 2018 with a band called Illyria, and it just blew me out of the water. I think she sent me the CD and everything, and I just was like, wow. Fantastic. And now she's evolved to have developed this brand new space-centered concept, Stargazer 22, and they released a opera electronica right at the introduction of the year, right in January, and it just floored me again. I just really was amazed. It was really cool. And so go ahead and you want to say hi because I didn't give you a chance, but go ahead and do that and we'll.
Well, hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much to Mark for giving us the opportunity to talk to some people across the big lake and share our creative stuff with you guys. And we're more than honored and happy to do so.
All right. Well, tell us about the evolution of Stargazer and then talk about opera electronica. And if you want to also introduce the band members, I know you may or may not have everyone there, but just go into sort of the history and how you came to this point, and that's it.
So I actually have somebody with me here, and he's sort of invisible, and his band name is Machine. He's a songwriter and producer. His name is Tibor Lorenz. You want to say hi real quick?
Yes, okay. I'm filming this, and Mark, hi. Hi everybody. My name is Tibor. Nice to meet you. And I'm filming
Welcome.
this with my handy and with my mobile. And I want to thank you also very much for watching this and following us all over the world. That would be fantastic. And it's really with Patricia, I just found the right singer for the opera electronica project, and now we are merging together all our experience, and it's fantastic. It's beautiful, and thank you so much, Mark, for bringing us in and to be so interested in what we're doing. I'm going back to the background now, and let Patricia talk because she's the English talking person here, and she knows about everything, and she knows. So thank you again. See you later, guys.
I think you did a great job. Thank you.
So it first started off when the widow of HR Giger, she was planning an anniversary of her museum in Gruyere. And I was recently divorced from Illyria, and she was looking for something that sounded sort of Celtic but also modern. And I'm like, okay, where am I going to pull that out of my sleeve? And I remembered that I recently met Tibor again, who I've worked with, or he worked with me when I was very young, and I was doing some voice actress stuff. And we reconnected and exchanged numbers, and it was really special because I was typing in a message, doing a text over WhatsApp, asking him whether he would be interested in a project. And the moment I finished typing the message, I haven't sent yet, a message came from him saying, "Oh, I just thought about you. How are you doing? Just want to ask, how are you doing?" And I wrote back like, "Dude, that's so weird." Because I was literally just going to text you about a new project, and I need somebody to do music with. And he said, "Well, that's great, actually. Gruyere, HR Giger, wonderful." For anybody who doesn't know, HR Giger is the designer that designed Alien in the Alien franchise. And he has a lovely museum in Gruyere, which is the French part of Switzerland. And they did an anniversary, his wife. and she heard of me over a friend, and she asked me whether I could do that.
What an honor! What an honor that was. And for progressive rockers, you guys will remember his artwork from Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Brain Salad Surgery, all over the front cover and the inside. But yeah, he's a fantastic artist, one of the best out there.
Yeah, so I was floored too with that message and frantically typing, and he wrote immediately, and we got into talking. He said, actually, I got some stuff that I wanted some singers to sing over, but it didn't really work out, and they didn't really know what to do with it. And he sent me the material, and so we set a date when to meet. And I was used to people wanting me not to talk a lot and just do my job and just rehearse and then be ready, you know? So that's what I did. I listened to it, I texted, I did, you know, the melodies, I rehearsed it. And when I came in, he was greeting me. He was like, hey, how are you doing? So nice to see you. So where's your mic? So shall we go to the studio right away? He looked at me kind of puzzled, like, okay. And then he set up the microphone and I sang. And what you hear in the song Save Tomorrow, because that was our first song, is actually most of it, or some parts of it, are actually that first take when I walked in. Wow. And afterwards he was like impressed. He's like, wow, and you already done this? I'm like, yeah, sure. And we had an appointment. That's why I prepared.
She just walked in and said, where's your mic? Where's your microphone? I said, yeah, I was there in the recording room. Okay, can I go there? I said, yes, please. I just had really quickly to go and record. And from that take, we are using still 80% of what you're hearing now on the internet, what we published. It's amazing. It was amazing. It was the moment where we really started.
Absolutely.
She's definitely a consummate professional. She's very good. And I've known that since that first album, but yeah.
So afterwards we did, I think after that came the Sleep Song, which is a cover from a band called Secret Garden, which is kind of sort of Irish folky, very, very lovely band to listen to if you just want to relax a little. And we and he did such a brilliant arrangement. He reinvented it completely new and he really married, as a producer and as an instrumentalist, he married kind of the sound of these alien-esque, spacey vibes and the Irish folk.
Yeah.
Which are two things that you think wouldn't go together, but it worked perfectly.
Definitely.
And
tell me a little bit about the evolution of the story too. I guess you play Eve too.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of give a little background on that, and we're going to definitely dive into each of the songs, but just a little, yeah.
So since we were hired by Carmen Giga, we kind of made the story up, and it evolved. The first kind of story was that he mentioned the movie Species, where the beautiful woman turns into a monster, and he wanted to reverse that the alien doesn't seem as alien anymore and becomes more human. So that was the initial idea, and then his character emerged, which is Machine, which is sort of a guardian of Eve. And the story is that there's it's kind of a futuristic scenario. The society is not doing too well, and they saw a meteor in space, and they sent a ship, the Stargazer, out to look what it is. And there are two life forms on this asteroid, and those are Machine and Eve, and they take them on board. And what it actually is Eve is, it wasn't an asteroid, it was a ship, like a sort of an organic thing. And Eve is sent as a virus. Actually, the character of Eve is Eve 2 is actually named, that's like Eva, the first woman, the mother of humanity, but the second try. So somehow the universe or another higher form of species has decided that humankind didn't really do that well. So they put them all to sleep and they try again with a second species, which Eve 2 is the mother of. And since the organism of Eve is so delicate, they created Machine to look after her. So Machine is a little bit less organic. He's more mechanical than Eve, but still develops a character. So they go to Earth and they observe Earth, humankind, anything from political things to very personal and intimate things from an outside point of view, from a very innocent point of view. So it's basically a story of reflection.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, let's talk about just real quick, I forgot to this will introduce it. The first track is Energy Elements, and it's full of fantastic sights and sounds. And is that a supernova, or is it the Big Bang that kind of opens that video?
Actually, that's more of a question for Machine, because that's entirely T-Baw's composition. And he did tell me about images that he had in mind, like in the quieter part, like a cavern full of crystals, and there is an explosion in it, or an implosion. So these images did go through his mind, but it's just the grand opening of the show. So if you want to see a supernova in that, then you do that. But I think that's up to the listener.
It's like a show opener. I love it.
Yeah.
The video that goes along with this. I mean, you really did a fantastic job putting everything together. It all works perfectly to complement all aspects of the presentation. Very good.
And the title Elements is because he has the 4 elements musically represented in it. So
definitely. And the use of the ocean and that was also very, very cool. All right, and then go ahead and talk about humanity's downfall. Did you want to talk about Elements, the song, or I jumped into the video, but it's up to you.
Oh, the video, the visuals were fun. We had so much fun selecting them, and I was he does all the technical stuff. I mean, I'm just watching him in awe most of the time, but I was really, really impressed with the visuals, and so kudos to T-Bor for those.
Definitely.
Well, as for Humanity's Downfall, that was our first song that we really did together. Like, we wrote it together, because usually he has something that he made and then I sing over it, and I was humming a melody. And actually first he started to find some chords, and then I was humming a melody over and over, and then we were finding the chords of that. So it was really a very organic and cool evening where I think we got that one pretty quickly, when I remember correctly. I think that we were in such a creative fire, we did that one actually in one evening.
Excellent.
Pretty much. And of course details like more strings and more kind of the vocals and everything in their end form, they came later. But I think the song in itself, we just came straight out one evening.
All right. I hope I say this right. Agnus Dei.
Agnus Dei, yeah, pretty good.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the origins of that and the meaning behind it.
Agnus Dei is Latin, means Lamb of God. And as for the lyrics, it delves into Eve trying to understand how people see the world from the lyric point of view, from the musical point of view. That's one of Tibor's projects. It was he had like a snippet, a 1 or 2 minute loop. He already had. He wanted it as an idea for another project that didn't really work, and he already had that, and we built on it, and we made this very epic long song out of it.
I tried with many singers and vocal artists over the years, and she was the first one who really got it. So
there's only one Patricia.
It had another title before for maybe 2 years, and then we turned it into Agnus Dei, and it just went off like a rocket. And it was, as she said, that loop, and it was a great loop, but it was just a loop, and then it started with her lyrics and everything. We started to create verses and choruses and bridges, and it's not easy to perform, isn't it? Because we made a little complicated arrangements about it.
Yeah, I have to count, and I always I always beg, I pray people don't see me counting, but when I see the footage, of the concert, I always see, when I'm dancing and I'm kind of looking down and I see myself counting all the time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I actually, in my head, I count in English.
All right.
It's always like, okay, breathe on 12, breathe on 12.
All right, lullaby is definitely my favorite. Who is a lullaby for? Earth itself, or the inhabitants, or
Lullaby. I must say this is a cover, so you might want to check out Sleep Song by Secret Garden, because that's the original. It's very beautiful too. But I did change the lyrics, and the lyrics are for both the planet and the people, and it's actually kind of, the background for it is the idea for a possible ending of the story, which would be a peaceful ending, which would be that humanity sleeps for 1,000 years and everything recovers, and then they start anew. So that is Eve singing humanity to sleep, basically.
Very good, very good. Go ahead and we'll talk about Save Tomorrow.
Well, Save Tomorrow, I already enthusiastically started that story. That was our very first song. That was when when we were on the phone, and he sent me MP3s via WhatsApp to listen to. And I sat down at home and I said, all right, he's really great. I always remember Tibor as like a really great producer. And the way he works with female voices is absolutely top notch. And amongst older circles of musicians in St. Gallen, he's called the Sängerin-Flüsterer, which is the female singer whisperer. He has a special way of capture and edit the female voice, and in a way that is faithful to the original voice, but also takes the best of it, and cancels out, kind of gets rid of frequencies that rub against the sound. He's really, really, really great producer. And so I wanted to make a great first impression, which is why I probably barged in like that, overrunning him a little bit, and having everything ready already and rehearsed, and
And you wrote great lyrics, Patricia.
Oh, thanks.
You didn't tell about the meaning of the song yet.
Well, the lyrics are why won't you save our tomorrow? And it's a very gentle plea. It's not kind of like a very aggressive song. It's a gentle plea of try to reconsider your priorities, and it's to listen like you would listen to your own body, like you listen to the winds in agony, you listen to the ocean cry, you listen to go inside yourself and listen around what's happening around in the world, about other people under strain and and nature being under strain. And
boy, do we need that. We definitely need that right now.
Yeah, absolutely need to reconsider our priorities and stop talking so loud over the needs of the planet and the needs of our own bodies and minds. And save our tomorrow. It's the tomorrow of the planet, the tomorrow of humanity, but also the tomorrow of ourselves. And people don't make that connection, that the better they treat the planet and other people, the better they treat themselves.
Yeah. No,
People tend to get very defensive about these things, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, we have, I won't say. All right. I try not to get political.
Yeah.
Sometimes it slips in, but yeah, we are dealing with a lot of it over here.
I don't try to get political either. I just try to tell people that sometimes it's good to shut up your inner monologue and listen to yourself and your surroundings, and then you discover needs and you meet them and you feel better all around.
Very true. Very true. And I was a political science undergrad, so it definitely takes a lot sometimes to hold back, but no. Let's talk about the journey.
The journey was a journey to make because I barged in. I have my recording skills. My home studio is my busted phone and an older busted phone that is at home. And what I do is I sing onto this phone, and then I record what I sang with the other phone and do another voiceover, like back in the 80s when you had like two recorders, and
yeah,
that's how he did it. And then I sent it to him, and he had like a cappella voices, which was an idea of mine, and we still have those really rugged rugged tapes. It's still on his computer somewhere, and he was brave enough to figure out what key I mean and then search for it, and he actually transformed it then, because I originally had a completely different verse and it was a bit overload and a bit tacky, and he transformed it into something really, really nice and made a huge, wonderful string arrangements, because the strings in that songs are absolutely gorgeous. And he did the arrangements for all of that, and I came up with a new lead melody for the verse, but the refrain, what's that?
Chorus.
The chorus, exactly. The chorus remained the same as the original.
All right. Well, it wouldn't be a story about Eve unless you gave an apple to your love. So tell us about that one.
This is a very ancient, this is also, you could consider it a cover, but it's a very ancient Old English song. It's actually medieval.
Oh, wow.
And it's on Oranges or Renaissance, something a little bit later than medieval. It's very, very old.
Renaissance is beautiful. I mean, that's a good time to pull from, for sure.
And many classical singers, if you search for that song, there's a lot of classical interpretations. There's one from Vaughan Williams, I think, and again, Tibor outdid himself in making a spacey ballad out of it, and a very interesting rhythm. I also have. That thing is a beat ... to count.
Progressive rock.
Yeah,
it
just
challenging.
counting. You know, there's that ongoing joke about singers, they can only count till 4. Not in Prague. No, my friend.
Yeah.
A lot of 3/4 and 6/8, huh?
Yeah, a lot of 6/8, 3/4.
And this changed from 6/8 to 4/4 and go back, and we even mix up 6/8 with 4/4, and this is pretty special.
We have the loop thing, you know, the rhythm, I think is a 4 and it's on the 6/8, and that's why I have to count, and I actually count till 5 until I breathe and start. And yeah, I give my love an apple. It's actually, it's one of those timeless songs. It's very, very beautiful.
It is, and you sing it well.
Why, thank you. Yeah, it's actually my lower register. It's usually I go higher. I always, at the end of a production, I was like, why do I do this to myself? Because I always blow my brains out, you know, at the highest notes at the end. And I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? I could make it so much easier for me to sing, but I never do. I always think, I can do this higher. I can hit that note.
But you don't, your voice, even when it does get high, it's not that screaming, you know, shrill.
No.
I've never heard that, but maybe other people do, but I've never heard anything like that from you. It still sounds really magical.
Why, thank you. Well, I actually was classically trained before I did anything else from my parents. And so my heights are very smooth, but I always wanted a little bit of a rock voice. I wanted a bit of grit and a bit of dirt.
Sure.
And I was always mad I couldn't get it.
Because of that classical, you know, discipline training. Yeah.
And always I was kind of experimenting with it, and whenever I thought I had those gritty notes and I would listen to it, I'd be very excited, and it would still sound very soft, or it just sound in my ears a bit awkward, and I would always be displeased. But I think after years of training, I finally have like 3 nice gritty notes, like right in the middle of the register. I can use those from time to time. And when it comes to around the break, when I go higher, I just tend to move around it. Like I do a lot of cheating.
That's okay. Now, will you release this on a hard copy, either CD, vinyl, or hopefully DVD or Blu-ray? I'm one of the first buyers. I'll definitely be interested.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, as for now, we are still working to get more material and just being creative. And but as soon as we have a few Patreons, we are going to do collector's items, like, because a CD nowadays, it is a collector's item. It's not really, everything else moves digitally and you can listen to your music online, MP3, but vinyl is definitely something that we are long-term flirting with, because it's something really nice. We're actually quite happy it got back into style, because it does have a very warm sound.
And it has space for a nice artwork on the cover.
And again, it has space for lovely artwork.
Yeah.
And Patricia does all the artwork.
Oh, wonderful.
And she does all the costumes.
That's true. Yeah.
She makes she's the makeup artist as well. So that's important to know for everyone, I think.
Thanks. He's beating my drum.
Yes.
He is
which he should, because it is wonderful. And I've seen that artwork over the years, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, well, basically, I paint cloth and I pray that it's dry by the time we have to wear it. Because that's usually it's deadline is always, with my work and everything, and I just paint stuff and I'll finish it tomorrow. I still have time, and I actually the rest of Battery's costume, on the drums.
Yeah.
And his name's Leroy, and he's amazing young guy and very, very, very nice young man. Also amazing drummer. He knows how to, he knows how to complement the music. And I actually painted on his body before
Wow.
our last rehearsal, before the recording. I was there. Actually, you can't see it on video, but I still had smudges on my hands from paint. So that's how close,
Yeah.
how last minute I finished the costumes.
And a lot of people, you brought up something that's very important, and people need to be reminded that you have a full-time job outside of this, and probably everyone else in the band as well. And you taking the time to do this, to be creative, to put all this effort. I mean, it's amazing effort. And that's one of the reasons I love, listening to that kind of music, and talking with people like you, is how do you balance it? I mean, it's you must burn a candle deep into the night to be able to do all that. It's incredible.
Well, insanity and Chardonnay helps.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's just, in all honesty, it's just
It's
I always
passion and
wanted
love.
to sing. I always wanted to sing, and I work in healthcare, so I'm dead tired after my job.
I bet.
But when I think about canceling a rehearsal or something, I always remind myself, you are working your butt off so you can sing. So you get out of bed and you do your stuff, and once I started on the costume, I get lost in it because I love painting, and sometimes I have to start to remind myself how much I love it.
Yeah.
And you don't end up more tired after you sing or paint. You end up more refreshed because it's good for your soul.
It's not work. It's love.
It's love.
Yeah.
It's pure love.
Will you be touring? Have you talked about that? I know it's right now. It is. There's all sorts of problems, but
well, it is constantly on our minds, and we talk about it a lot because we want to sing in front of people, and we wanted to do. Actually, the last show you saw was actually planned as an event for 60 people, and it didn't work out that way. So Tibor improvised the most, and what he did is absolutely amazing. And this whole beautiful production that you see at the end is him replanning and thinking out of the box to make it work, because we had other people involved that couldn't do it for one or another reason, and we almost didn't have our last live gig that you can see on YouTube now, our concert. And touring, we want to like late summer, early fall. I definitely have vacation around there, so we'll try to do something, but we can't promise at this point.
yeah, there's a lot of COVID stumbling blocks too, which is really a shame.
Yeah.
So you're rather than, I mean, obviously this is the star project you're working on, and it sounds like you're developing more songs to add to it, or are you moving on to another project, or? I mean, this is a fantastic project, but go ahead. For the rest of the year, what it sounds like you're working on the concerts potentially and adding maybe more songs to this.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's our first priority for the next time that we get together. And we're definitely gonna work on new material, but we can't say when that's gonna be out as of yet. But we'll keep everyone updated, and we'll keep keep sticking with the Stargazer22 project, because it's so much more than a music project to us. It's therapy. It's a love project. Absolutely.
Well, is there anything that I haven't talked about or haven't brought up that you would like to mention or discuss?
No, I'm actually very happy. I'm happy we got to talk, and I just want to wish everyone the best in life, health. I want to encourage people to listen to themselves and don't get caught up in arguments and fights over political things, because your friends and your family and you being aware of things that go on in your life and around you are very important. And I just want people to look after themselves and be good to one another.
Why not? I mean, that's why we're here.
Exactly. And keep supporting your local bands.
Please.
They need it. Please, please. It doesn't, if your cousin's in a band, you say, oh my God, you're so talented. Yeah, he's happy to hear that. But buy the shirts, buy the CDs, listen to his music, because you're listening to more than just this person. You're listening to what is most important to them in their lives. So please support local bands and any music project that is around you, that any talent, because they will appreciate it.
Well, in Europe, they definitely respect art and music a lot more than over here. I mean, over here, you're getting all sorts of budgets cut in high schools and middle schools and things like that. And do we really need art anymore? Yes, in fact, we need it more than ever right now. I mean,
we do need it more than ever, but you would be surprised. Even in Europe, there are corners where they're just so bureaucratic and so materialistic, and it's really, really hard to make it, even here, and where the word in the world is that Germany, Italy, etc. is where culture is being nursed. It's not. It honestly lacks in nursing. And actually, I found that audience in the States is much more lively and appreciative sometimes than it is over here. People here can be quite reserved, but definitely people over there know how to party at a concert. So
another one is South America. I'll never forget the Rush video done in Brazil, I think it was, and just the fans, never stop clapping. I mean, they're so starved for good music that so yeah, there's other parts of the world that are just dying for concerts. And definitely we are, and we're starting to see more and more of it over here. But we definitely would love to see you guys come over, and hopefully, I know that is a difficult bridge to build, especially with all the blocks in the way. But definitely, we'd love to see you over here.
Well, we would love to come. We would love to play in the States, and we're hoping that it is possible someday.
I think you'd be well received for sure.
That would be great.
Well, any other comments from anyone?
No. Actually, we just want to say thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much for for listening to us and spreading the word. And we're excited. We're excited that that you talked to us, and it was a really nice conversation. So thank you for that.
Well, definitely. Thank you, Patricia and Stargazer22 for taking time to talk with us here at ProgressiveRockCentral.com. We really enjoyed your opera electronica. Look forward to your productions of the future. Good luck in all your endeavors, and keep singing like you're singing, Patricia. It's wonderful. You're bringing a lot of art, culture, and humanity to the world. That's what art does. It makes us human. Business, military, all these other things, you have to have them for support, but it's art that makes us human.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
So
right. Oh, go ahead. Do you have one more thing? I was going to stop the recording, but you tell me.
I just want to tell you thank you, and look after yourself.
You too, for sure. Yeah, she's in healthcare, so she's seeing a lot of distress, unfortunately, and this music really helps supplement and make her life better. So thank you for pushing beyond all that to create your art.
Thank you.
Okay. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna